Hello, I'm Cameron Best. Well, after plenty of speculation, the battle lines have finally been drawn in the Labor leadership, with Prime Minister Julia Gillard calling for a ballot of the federal caucus on Monday morning. The remarkable events of the past few days were set in motion by Corangamite MP Darren Cheeseman in a show of disloyalty to the Prime Minister when he publicly backed Kevin Rudd, saying Ms Gillard should resign. His fellow Labor colleague and member for Corio, Richard Marles, has thrown his support behind Ms Gillard. We spoke to the two men and here's what they had to say earlier on today.
Well, I think that question has been answered by both of us. So I'll be supporting Julia Gillard on Monday, and I think Darren can speak for himself, but I'm pretty sure he'll be supporting Kevin Rudd. But I think one of the things that we really want to say as a team, if you like, in Geelong, is that while we might have a different view on this issue, and of course it's a huge issue for the government and the party, Darren and I are absolutely at one in our desire to represent the interests of the Geelong people. There's no better example of that than us being here today. We work closely together, we are really good friends, and sometimes you do have different views on important issues, but the most important issue for both of us is actually something different to the leadership of the Labor Party, and that's representing the interests of Geelong. And on that, I think it's really important that people in Geelong understand that they've got a very united team in Darren Cheeseman and me.
There's no doubt, though, that given this time, that you do need to have a united team fighting for the causes of Alcoa and the workers at Avalon and that sort of stuff. Surely the instability that's now arisen, and I guess, you know, in no small part to you coming out on the weekend, is terrible timing as far as that's concerned.
Well, look, I don't think there's ever really a good time to change Prime Ministers. You know, it is a very stressful time for any party in government. Very clearly, Richard and I have a difference of view as to who is best placed to lead this country forward. But what I can say is both Kevin Rudd and Julia Gillard are very passionate about manufacturing, and they're very aware of the needs of Geelong and the structural changes that are taking place in the economy. And I think they'll be both well placed, to be perfectly frank, in dealing with these particular challenges that we see before us today. I mean, you know, they both like this place. They both get down here as often as they can in their roles, and you know, I look forward to resolving the leadership tensions and issues early next week, and working with whoever the Prime Minister is, to be frank, to advocate on behalf of Geelong with Richard to get good outcomes for our community.
Do you feel vindicated with your position that you made, which has really set the wheels in motion to what's going to unfold over the next few days?
Well, I very clearly have a view as to who's best placed to win the next election. I've articulated that view, but I've also made it very clear that this is a challenge the party has to face up to. There is clearly a difference of opinion now within the party that we need to deal with, and that process is now being put in place to deal with that challenge. That is in the best interests of the Labor Party. Clearly I have a view as to who's best placed to lead us. Richard has a different view to that, but I think Richard's point's absolutely right, that we very much work very strongly as a team in Geelong, advocating for important issues and making sure that Canberra listens. That's what we do as a team. We have a different view as to who's best placed to lead. That will be resolved by the caucus early next week, and I certainly look forward to moving forward.
Were you told to make your stand by these faces?
No, as I've been indicating right throughout the whole week, I came out as a backbencher, after having thought about it for a significant period of time as to who was best placed to take the government and the party forward come the next election. I've articulated that. Some people agree with me, others have criticised me, some have called me a kamikaze pilot. It's been a difficult week, and I certainly look forward to this issue being resolved one way or another.